Hey guys, this is PowerWangZ, and we are here tonight doing a unboxing of the Gears of War 4 Limited Edition Xbox One S or Slim console. This console is a 2 terabyte hard drive and has 4K with HDR capability for streaming video. And it's considerably smaller looking at the box size. I haven't actually seen the console. And we can do maybe a comparison here when my system is done downloading. My old system is done downloading the game. I've already popped this open and pulled the code out. But let's go ahead and start taking a look at this. So this is the front of the box. You've got a picture of the system and some of the Gears of War 4 artwork. The sides, you have some more pictures. Picture of the system on that side, and then on the other side you've got the what's in the box jazz. So we're going to look at the what's in the box. What's in the box on this one is going to be a 2 terabyte hard drive, 4K Ultra HD with HDR video streaming, and plays select Xbox 360 games. Those are the selling points on the box. But it also includes inside the package the limited edition console, a vertical stand for the console so you can set it up upright, the limited edition wireless controller, which is the red Gears logo. It's not the gray JD Phoenix controller, which we'll be showing off later in another video. Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition game download code, an HDMI cable, and then a 1-year warranty is on the system with 90 days on everything else accessory wise. And then of course it's got wireless networking capability, which I don't count that as what's in the box. That's a feature of the item in the box, or a selling point. So, and then on the back we've just got the system, or not the system, I'm sorry, just the artwork for Gears of War 4. And that's actually really cool. I kind of hope that's the cover of the box. It looks, the cover of the game box. It looks really slick. And then on the top, you've got just some more of the artwork continued with another picture of the system. And on the bottom, you've got your serial number, your barcode, and then all of your advisory bullshit, which we're not even going to show because who gives a crap about that? And nobody needs to really see my console serial number. So we're going to go ahead and open up the box. The box opens here at the top. I've already cut it open. And we'll go ahead and flip this because it's going to be a little easier to see the way they have this laid out. And so you got a little insert here that's your quick setup guide. It's pretty slick though because it's got a Gears branding on it. And then it's literally a quick setup guide. It's here's how you can set up your system, either standing or laying down. Here's where you plug your cables in. Blah-de-blah-de, blah 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 blah. Here's how to put batteries in your controller and sync it. If you don't know how to do that stuff, read the manual, RTFM. And so now we're going to pop this guy open, and it's kind of cool on the inside of the box there. It's got more Gears of War branding with the imagery on the inside of the box. Let's go ahead and actually get into the contents of the box. So the first thing you have here is a little insert with your game code there. And let's see what else is in there. We'll go ahead and flip that open. You've got your vertical stand. So that actually isn't really anything too special. It's a plastic stand that your system sits on top of. There's some little locking tabs. It's kind of hard to see it because of how it lights, but there's some locking tabs here and here that slip into your system and hold still. The nice thing though, it's not just a plain black, it is kind of an off reddish black, very, very dark crimson, maybe even borderlining brown, but I'm sure it's going to match the color scheme of the system. Look Get that set to the side here. And you've got your game code. And on this one you get not only the Ultimate Edition of the game, but an LE console pack plus bonus gear packs, which I'm guessing are kind of like the rec packs in Halo. So they're upgrades for multiplayer, I guess. And then you have an advertisement for the other special edition controller, as well as an Elite controller, which interestingly enough does not depict the Gears of War artwork. And then a regulatory warning guide. Exciting. So we'll get that stuff set aside because let's face it, games without cases or game code paper, usually not too awesome. It's what's actually in this bad boy that we want to see. So we've got another little box here off to the side. Again, it's kind of follows that same Gears color motif. Even has a gear kind of shape code to it. I'm going to go ahead and open that guy up. So you've got your power cable. This is a different kind of power cable. This is actually more similar to like a PlayStation 4 power cable. It's a thicker gauge, single wire. So I'm led to believe that the power supply on these guys is internal and not the brick that we have with the normal Xbox one, which is actually kind of slick. I like that. I really never liked the power bricks. I'm going to set the box aside here. And then of course, yippee skippy, if everybody doesn't have 20 of these, you're behind in the ages. An HDMI cable. Seriously, if you don't have at least a couple of these, you probably aren't playing enough modern consoles, or just don't give a shit about the fidelity of your graphics. Inside this, I can only imagine, is our wonderful limited edition controller. So I'm going to go ahead and rip this right on open. And there's still a little bit of heaviness in there, but I guess that's the batteries. So it's the new style controller, and this thing actually looks really fucking good. I'm tempted to buy another one of these. Ooh. Alright, that's dope. Alright, we're going to have to zoom in on that, so give me just a quick second here. Let's get a little closer on that. This thing is friggin' sweet. So, this controller matches the... Let's get my arm above there a little bit. Matches the same motif. And now, I'm going to guess it's very similar, but right where I'm touching here on this edge, you can kind of see these black hash marks. These are not just hash marks painted. These are actually gouges in the controller that they have taken and molded into the plastic. And they feel more like not molded, but dug in. So I'm wondering if they do some special process, use some special process to make that feel like it's torn. But it's a matte finish. It's kind of... It's not really soft, it's not really hard. The back of it is standard, again, matte. But you've got red directional pad with like some splatter pattern on it. It's a really beautiful controller. You've got the Gears logo. You know what? I'm probably going to grab a couple of these. I wasn't thinking I was, but you know, these look a lot like the Gears 3 controllers for the Xbox 360, and I really dig that. Nothing special about the buttons. They're just a glossy black. There's no special resets or anything. On the back though, and this is, holy shit, that's really on there. The battery door is really on here. You've got some kind of Coalition of Ordered Governments logo on there, and it's a little hard to see because it's reflective on a matte surface. Doesn't stand out crazy, but when you move it, because it's the same color, just a glossy finish. So that's kind of cool. And then I believe this thing comes to your standard AA batteries. And then you've got your new style, I don't know that they'd have it any other way, headset with the 3.5mm jack and the old style headset and chat pad connection. The controller doesn't feel anything special aside from the gouges and that it's got a matte finish, so you guys feel like glossy ones. It doesn't feel the same, but it doesn't have the same nice rubberized drip like the Elites do or the Lunar Whites. But damn, is that controller slick looking. I'm going to go ahead and back it out here. I'm sorry, this takes just a second. Right ahead, get backed out there. And we'll get back to getting into everything here. That controller's pretty awesome though. I probably will end up picking a second one of those up. And that's all you have inside the box. And of course inside with your controller. Double cellophane wrapped. But no plastic wrap around them, oddly. 2 AA batteries with copper tops. Set those aside, get rid of all this cellophane, slip this back together. And set that aside, set all the cables aside. And now let's get to the real thing. Oh darn, there is stuff around it. So that's all that's inside the box, but the artwork continues inside and it's pretty hard to see. I'm going to see if I can get the angles just right. Yeah, you can see the Omen emblem there. And then on the other side, let's see if I can get it, there's a Coalition of Ordered Governments emblem. But now, let's get here. Let's get out what you guys all came to see. So this is the new Xbox Slim. This guy looks way tiny in comparison. I mean, even the box just looks teensy compared to the other system. So there's about the size of it. I don't have the other one sitting right here to compare it to because it is over there on the other side of my desk downloading Gears 4. So let's kind of slip this guy open here. They got the cellophane tape down and I'm ripping it a little bit. Whew, that is pretty. We're not going to let you guys see that yet though. Let you wait a little bit longer while we peel away the cellophane here. Flip it over. We got one more piece of tape here. This thing looks gorgeous though. Well, I've seen it, and it's just little teeny bits. Alright, so we've got it upside down here, but that's the way they wrapped it. So on the bottom even, or on the back side, you've got that same thing that they did with the controller where they've got the matte finish on most of the body and then the kind of semi-glossy Coalition of Ordered Governments. It's a matte finish though, and this thing is actually really gorgeous. Look at this. Look at that. So it is very small. It's still pretty heavy. It's got some good heft to it. But man, oh man, is that a good looking system. We'll go ahead and plug this guy in. I'm guessing that's the ejector. That's the disc ejector. Wow, it's just a teeny little button. Very hard to see, but it's right there. Let's see if we can get a little bit better shot of that. Yeah, so right there. I'm guessing that's your disc ejection button because I don't see anything else that would be. So we're going to go ahead and peel that sticker off there. Let's get a look at the system. This thing is super awesome looking. So you've got the Gears emblem in the ventilation fan, which that's actually really slick. And again, just like the controller, we've got the scoring down in the bottom, and it's not just painted on scoring. I mean, that's, you can stick your finger in the ridge that's there, and that's pretty slick. So on the back, you've got your connector for your power. You've got your power connector over here. You've got HDMI in and out. You've got 2 USB ports here and here. And then IR out, and then you've got your, I forget the name of this cable, but it's labeled SPDIF. It's your optical output for your sound, and then of course your Ethernet slot. But that's all that's really on the back of this guy. Of course, your serial number, your manufacture date. So wow, this thing was built a while ago. Mine was built, I'm going to guess July 20th? Yeah, July 20th, reading this date. July 20th, 2016. So this thing has been sitting for a little while, built and ready to get into my hands. We'll get a look at all the angles again. And then I'm going to guess, as we set this thing vertical. I want to get a look at the box on how they have this thing set vertically. Okay, so I've got it set the right way. The disk drive is down. There are, okay, I'm going to show how to do this. So you'll see on here, right in here, there's those little slats right by my finger there and right by my finger here. That is where your vertical stand base slips into. And it just lines up with your system and clips right in. And I like that because yeah, it's gonna lock in. So boom, and it does take a little bit of a press, and boom, and there it is on the vertical stand in all its fucking awesomeness. This thing looks really cool. This is actually, I'm going to say, probably one of my favorite console designs I've ever seen, because very rarely do you see, outside of custom build stuff, where they texture it besides maybe like using a different paint or a different finish on the plastic. They've actually scored the plastic, which is really slick. It's a lot smaller, and I mean a lot smaller. You know, just for comparison, I'm going to show off. I'll do pictures. I'll do 2 pictures at the end of the video here, showing these guys side by side. But right now, I do want to plug this thing in and fire it up in here if it's got any cool sounds. Like the vertical. Man, I just don't know. There's a nice little gap here too, at the bottom, that they leave for it to get ventilation. And there's your IR port for if you're using a remote, and then there's your controller sync button right there. So they got everything really well hidden, and I didn't even notice it. On the front there is another USB port. So you've got 3 USB ports on this guy, 2 HDMI ports. You'll note the one thing that's missing is a connect port. There is not a connect port on this system. You do have to get a special adapter. If I recall, you can get them by providing a proof of purchase that you bought a Slim and have an original Connect system, and you can get it for free. Otherwise, I think it costs some money. I want to say it's like $20 or $50. I remember it wasn't like super cheap, but I could be wrong. Again, I'll correct myself in the annotations if I'm wrong. But that's what this guy is. This thing is really slick looking. It is an absolutely beautiful system, and I would for sure highly, if you are a Gears fan, recommend going out and throwing your money down on one right now, because I don't think these ones will last. These will get into people's hands and they'll get gone, and this is one of those ones that's going to be kept until people that absolutely need the money trade them in on next gen, or guys like me, I'm going to hold on to mine probably forever. So there it is with the controller and all of the stuff. And this is, this is your desk profile now. You've got 2 cables. You don't have the power brick. It is absolutely stunning looking. I really do like it. I can't say enough how cool it is. We will do another video to follow this up. We will unbox the blue and gray controller, the JD Phoenix controller, as well as the Elite Gears of War 4 controller. We'll do separate unboxing videos for those, as well as a video of the physical Ultimate Edition, which isn't much. I didn't get the Super Collector's Edition with JD Phoenix on the bike, but we'll get those unboxing videos done as those things come out. Those will all probably make it out next week, unless I for some reason get a notice that controller is showing up sooner. But seriously, this is one of my favorite systems now. I like this more than the Halo system. The Halo system is cool looking, the Advanced Warfare system is cool looking, but they don't have all of the small touches that this does. I will do a side-by-side comparison. I just don't want to do it right now because I don't want to interrupt the download and I don't want to dick around with my camera. Getting it over there and getting new shots and stuff set up right now because I'm really tired actually, and I'm trying to get to bed soon. But this thing is absolutely awesome. I love it. If you're a Gears fan, go buy one. Trade your system in. Unless you have a system you think is way cooler looking than this is the best system that's been released so far. And I'm a big fan of the Halo one. The Halo one I think looks fantastic. The Advanced Warfare one's got a lot of detail, but being a big Gears fan and just the detail that they put into this thing is stellar. So definitely one of my favorite systems of all time in design wise, in just the aesthetics. I can't comment on how it runs yet. I don't know if the fans are any louder, but I'll kind of talk about that stuff in my follow-up videos. You know what? Let's go ahead and I'm going to throw the power cable in here quick. Alright, I really wanted to hear the sound effects this guy kicks out, so I went and got the power cable plugged in across my desk here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that, toss that aside, set it up and turn it on here. So I'm going to get this guy plugged in. This is just going to be ghetto setup for now so I can actually just see it. And here we go, first power on of the system. So that's its power on noise. I'm going to switch over the input here. We'll go ahead and get the batteries in the controller to power this guy up. So you got your, everything's standard Xbox so far, nothing different on the boot up screen. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. You've heard the boot up sound, and you have gotten to see the system itself. Like I said, I think this is quite possibly one of my favorite consoles that I have ever seen. I'm going to go ahead and get it boot up and set up, and we will catch you guys later. If you liked this video, please click the little thumbs up button down below. If you didn't like it, click the thumbs down and tell me why. And then if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and follow. Those things show me that you want to see more of my content and encourage me to produce more content. Thanks guys, I'm PowerWingZ. Have a good one.